Hello again, John O'Connor here. Welcome back to the H&I channel. Today, we're going to be talking about Lexington. This is the world that I've been working on for the last 3.5 years. Not sure where this series is going to go or how in-depth I'm going to get with things. Like I've said before, it's almost ready to present, but there's a lot of holes that need to be patched up and spackled before we go any further. So I might ask you for a little bit of input in the nearby future. But today, I'm going to be showing you the world of H&I's Lexington. My buddy Jonathan Mueller, who I've mentioned before in my video Story Time with Jake the Fighter and the Double D, enjoyed playing in my campaign so much that he said, "Hey, would you mind if I drew the world map for this place?" I said, "Well, yeah, that'd be really cool of you." I gave him a very primitive design that looked like you kind of took Asia, part of Florida, and added a touch of India and just smashed it all together. It took me about 20 minutes just to draw out the outline, and I was like, yeah, I think there should be something here, there should be something there. A month later, he comes back to me, and he shows me one of the most incredible designs ever. If I had an ability or a way to just show you a scan of it, I would, but unfortunately, either I don't have the equipment or I'm just not knowledgeable enough to do it. So I'm going to be showing you this big old thing. Give you a second to take that in. Jonathan took the time and energy to draw out this expansive landscape. The only thing that I've added to it is the names of cities. He told me straight out, he's like, don't fuck anything up because I'm only drawing this once for you. We've actually been looking for a way to scan it so we always have a digital copy so if anything ever happens to this. But what you just saw is the one and only copy of the map of Lexington, the continent. Lexington is actually a pretty funny story because 3 years ago, when I was putting together my first campaign, mind you, I'd only played in one session beforehand, and now I was being given the role of DM. Didn't know quite what to do with it. I had a little bit of support and a lot of people who just wanted to do their own thing and wanted me to throw something together. So I took ideas that I was comfortable with, tongue-in-cheek with a lot of names. And the reason I called the continent Lexington is because a good buddy of mine, Robert Kinnemer, who I haven't seen in, oh god, I'd have to say almost 5 years now. Robert Kinnemer was actually a staff member on the Lexington, which is in Corpus Christi. I'm not sure what his job title was, but he actually cleaned a lot of the rooms, you know, I think he even ran tours at one point. When Taps filmed Ghost Hunters there, he was 17, and they actually did an interview with him, but because of his age, they couldn't add that in there because he would need his parents' consent, and they live where I am, Pleasanton, so he couldn't get the consent to actually be on the show. When he first told me they were there, I didn't believe him. I told him he was full of shit and he was just making up stories. But a year and a half later, they actually aired the episode, and I was like, wow. Or it may have not been a year and a half later, but I remember it was a good amount of time, and I was like, wow, he's really not lying. What was really cool, though, is when they did one of the big background shots, I actually got to see him walking in and out of the shot, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Again, good buddy of mine, Robert Kinnemer. So that's why the actual continent's called Lexington, because he served, or he was a curator or something on the Lexington, which is docked in Corpus Christi, and I just wanted to give him a nod there. When I first built, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea what I should be working and what I shouldn't be. So the actual pantheon that I have, the early working of the pantheon was 7 deities, which all happen to be ex-girlfriends. Now, this is an idea that I've kept, but I have tweaked considerably. I've removed most of their names or edited their names. Because, it was a joke that I thought okay, it's kind of funny the first few times, and as I grew up a little bit and grew into D&D more, I realized I didn't want to just be running slapstick adventures. I actually want to be telling gross, in-depth stories, and you have to make changes there. So, most of the names have changed, except for Cassandra. Cassandra was my high school sweetheart my freshman year, and it's so funny because I didn't keep the name because of anything particular. You know, it's not like, oh, she has a special place in my heart and I gotta put something there for her. It's actually because I started working on the idea of the deity, and as it went to the first, second, third, fourth, fifth draft, I really liked the character design I came up with, and the name Cassandra I thought was really interesting. What makes Cassandra's name so, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. She doesn't spell it with a C, she spells it with a K. So it's an uncommon spelling, so it looks really good on paper when you see the goddess Cassandra. It's one of the few human-ish names I have on my Pantheon list. My Pantheon right now is actually consisting of 36, almost 38 deities, and in a couple weeks, me and my friends are actually going to go through the Pantheon and edit a couple things for our next campaign. Tweak some deities, move some portfolios around, maybe change a couple domains. Because again, what worked back for the slapstick adventures and the one-shots really isn't what I want to keep, so I've got to fix the foundation of a couple things. But I just wanted to give a basis and introduce you to what I've been working on a little bit. As far as this map right here, one thing I'm actually going to give another shout out. A couple videos ago, I called my buddy Nick a dick. He's a really great guy. If he starts watching these videos, he's like, I'm not a dick. You are, but I love you anyways. This is one of his contributions to the world. I'm not going to be able to get in the shot. Damn it. But right here, you can't see it. Or maybe you can and my camera's messed up. The original name of this area was called the Deathclaw Desert because of a creature that roams around in it. Nick, in one of our stories, decided it was me, I don't even remember what I was playing. I think I was playing Linway. I'm going to give more story about Linway later. He was playing, oh shit, can't even think of it. He went by the name Catman. And my buddy Jonathan was playing Cade. Kyler. Nick was playing Kyler the Catman. And we all got, as a payment, a wishing ring with one wish left on each one. Linway wished for some ability. Cade wished for some new equipment. But Kyler, being who he was, wanted to always be remembered. So he made a wish that from that day forward, all reference to the Deathclaw Desert would then be known as the Deathclaw and Catman Desert. So, as an homage to him, I've kept it as that. So, in all official Lexington doctrines and documents, it'll always be known as the Deathclaw and Catman Desert. Nick really embraced the idea that, you can affect the world, you can change things in it. So I've always kept that in the wish. The story behind it is, at first it was a wish, and now that the power of that wish has kind of worn off, it's been like that for so long, it's just part of the history now. So that was one of Nick's great contributions to my world, and I would be very inconsiderate if I didn't thank him for that, because it always brings a smile to my face when, I have to tell the story, and I'm like, and then you cross the Catman Desert, or the Deathclaw and Catman Desert. It always reminds me of the early days of the campaign and the fun we used to have. So even as the stories get more and more serious, or a little more dramatic, characters with a straight face have to say, well, we're going to be crossing the Deathclaw and Catman Desert today. So it's always a fun little point. I'm sure I'm leaving something out, but I just wanted to show the map and give a couple nods to some good friends. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again real soon.